Welcome to another edition of Exodus Examined, where we're looking at the evidence for and the evidence against the Exodus account found in the Bible. Thank you to those who commented on my previous videos and those who liked. I'm very appreciative for that. And those who subscribed, thank you. Let me just throw this out there for anyone wondering what I believe. I'm a Catholic. I believe everything in the Nicene or the Apostles' Creed. When it comes to the Bible, I believe it is inspired by God, but I'm using inspired very loosely. As the Catechism says, that take into account men's sensibilities. I believe the older stories are allegorical and Christ-centric. I think that is an overall Catholic belief. But that being said, that I believe that the Bible does have errors, flaws, issues, and contradictions. Doing this series on Exodus is prompting me to do a future series or a couple videos on the Bible itself or Bible history. But anyway, let's get into the Exodus. In my last episode, I didn't really solidify this point and kind of glossed over it, but I want to make it stronger. And it has having to do with Moses' name. Because Moses' name is an Egyptian name and not a Hebrew name, it seems that the author of Exodus had knowledge of Egyptian names, or perhaps that someone in Israelite history was Egyptian. And think about that for just a moment, how unusual that probably was. Imagine, say, for example, that you're reading the genealogy in Matthew, and you're reading all those Jewish names like Hezaz and Ram and Aminabad and Boaz, and then all of a sudden you ran across the name that said Bill or Frank. You know, it would be striking. I think that's what the Moses name is like, found in Jewish history. So just wanted to get that point across. But let's get to the Merneptah stela. Any of you who have done any research on the Exodus have probably ran across the Merneptah stela because it is the greatest archaeology find for Israelite history. It puts the Israelite tribe on the map in a specific period of time. Let me tell you what it is for those that don't know. A stela is a stone slab with etchings on it describing a king or pharaoh's conquests or victories in battle. When the king or the pharaoh went out to do battle, he would come back and have his people describe or etch in stone all his victory and conquests. And then they would put this large monolith of victories in town square or right outside the temple, showing all the people how great he is. Well, we have one of these stelas. Archaeologists have found a stela from Pharaoh Merneptah, dating back to the year 1208 BC. On it, Merneptah is boasting about destroying a tribe known as Israel. It says, Israel has been laid to waste, her seed is no more. Now, there's several things that are interesting about this. One of the things is that while he's describing these victories of other places, these are places, the other ones on the stone slab are actual regions. And after the name, the hieroglyph is the mountains or hills, showing that that's a region. But when it comes to the name Israel, Israel on the slab, it shows a man and a woman after the name Israelite or Israel, which tells the reader that they're a tribe without a land. So there's no Israel land or nation at this point, like Canaan, the Canaanites in Canaan. So you have to wonder, where did they get their name Israel? How did they name themselves Israel? Another point to take away from this stela is obviously Merneptah is doing a little stretching of the truth or propagandizing because Israel was not destroyed, but he was boasting about it. One of the jokes is that according to the archaeological evidence, no pharaoh in history ever lost a battle, obviously because they would never have that etched or inscribed into stone. So every single pharaoh won every battle they were ever in. But the other point is, notice that the Bible doesn't have this encounter within its pages either. It's absent from the Bible. Now, we know that Merneptah is doing a little exaggeration of the truth because the Israelites carry on. Is it possible that the author of Exodus does a little exaggeration themselves? I mean, think about the similarities between the Merneptah Stela and the Exodus account. Merneptah goes out, does all these conquests in Canaan, and we know that they're exaggerations. He comes back, has his stone slab put up telling his people how great he is. He is the Pharaoh, he is part God. All right, and then the Exodus account. They tell their readers or their people, well, there were 600,000 men, but there was really over 1 million of us. And then the Pharaoh brought out 600 of his greatest chariots, and Moses opened up the Red Sea, and every single soldier that Egypt had in their army, including the Pharaoh, sank to the bottom of the Red Sea like a stone. And then they tell their people how great their God is. Don't these stories look exactly the same? I mean, we can accuse all the Egyptian pharaohs in history for boasting and exaggeration and stretching the truth. But many people believe that when it comes to Judeo-Christian texts, there's no boasting, there's no exaggeration. Everything that the Israelites wrote was completely legit. Anyway, let's move on to discuss Merneptah's father, who was Pharaoh Ramses the Great or Ramses II. Merneptah was the 13th son of Ramses the Great. And Ramses the Great is the pharaoh that most people believe is the pharaoh of the Exodus. The reason being is because of that group I talked about before, the Hyksos and the Merneptah Stela date the Israelites outside of Egypt in 1208. So there's a small window to put the Israelites in slavery for the Exodus, and most people believe it's Ramses the Great's reign. Also included in that evidence is the town that's named in the Bible Ramses. That's further evidence that it's Ramses the Great. Ramses the Great had a reign of 66 years from 1279 to 1213. He was extremely old when he died. Did he have a firstborn son die early? And that is true. He did. His son died in his 17th year of the reign, which would put the Exodus right at the year 1262 BC, if you believe the son died from the 10th plague, the angel of death killing the firstborn son. That's another reason why many people believe Ramses the Great is the pharaoh of the Exodus. How the son died, nobody knows. But notice that if the son did die due to the plague, then the pharaoh did not die in the Red Sea. The numbers don't work out. I think everyone notices that. But how did the pharaoh die? We actually have his mummy, and he died extremely old of what they believe is a osteoporosis or heart failure. They think, many people think he was crippled, but he did not die by drowning, and he didn't sink to the bottom of the Red Sea, seeing as though that we have his mummy. Okay, so next time I will get into Egyptian culture or society influencing the Israelites. If you have any comments on the Merneptah Stela or the whole Exodus in general, I would love to hear them. I am very appreciative and thankful for those who provide their opinions or their input. So thank you again for watching. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.